Hi, everybody. Welcome to our lightning talk. My name is Melissa McKay. I am a developer advocate with JFrog. I'm here today with Damian Curry with F5. Damian, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, like Melissa said, my name is Damian Curry. I'm the technical director for the Community and Alliances team at NGINX, which is part of F5. We do a lot of work with all of the ecosystem partners like JFrog and other people in the ecosystem. Make sure that all of our products can work together and that people can have it run their infrastructure and with whatever tools they need. So yeah, it's always great to talk with you, Melissa.
Awesome. You too, Damian. And we've worked together before, so I know very much how much you care about all of this. And being a developer advocate, I come from more of the developer side of things. So I think we work really well together. Anyway, JFrog, obviously we are a DevOps company. We like to help organizations implement and improve their existing DevOps practices. That's all the way from initial development all the way to deployment of software. So we did team up with Docker in order to provide another tool that will be more valuable at the left end of your pipeline before anything even gets checked in to code bases and certainly before anything gets deployed. So we would like to share that with you today. And Damian, after we go through this demo, let's chat together about how you would be using this, within your organization and
Yeah,
how this might help developers.
sounds good.
All right, so here we go. You should be able to see the extension. And this is within Docker Desktop. You can already, examine your images. You can start, stop, and look at your running containers that you have all within Docker Desktop. And now you can also take advantage of extensions that are being created. And JFrog decided to create this extension that builds upon the Xray functionality within the JFrog platform. And what this allows you to do, we'll go ahead and go to it. What this allows you to do is to scan your images before they even leave your local environment. So the first thing that you would do is take advantage of either your existing environment, or you can choose to create one on the fly if you don't have one already. That just takes a few minutes, and it is a free instance that you can utilize for this functionality. Once you put in all of your credential information, you can return to the extension and you can choose from any of the images that exist currently on your local system. And today I'm going to grab the latest NGINX image. Damian, I bet you're familiar with this one.
Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and kick off a scan.
Yeah, and this is really such a great tool here because I mean, obviously Xray is an amazing tool, and being able to scan your images at incrementally is such a powerful benefit. And that's, even when we're talking in the CI/CD pipeline space, when we're looking at being able to do this locally on developers' machines as part of their workflow, it's just such a powerful tool.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that you can get sooner in the pipeline before you get all the way to the end, when it's time to, when it's time to deploy, when you're under pressure to get something out, it's nice to have already dealt with a lot of
Yeah.
stuff in the beginning.
Yeah. Although the
So
one downside is sometimes it looks a little scary when you see things like this.
yes, it does. And let's talk about this a little bit. So I have in my settings, I set this up to show all vulnerabilities. There is an option to filter some of these out. Some of these you may not really want to display to developers. You don't want them to be concerned about it or worry about it. That would be the job of, a security team or someone, beforehand setting up a policy that gives you a little bit more of a filter here. Here we just show everything. We give everything to you. And let's just talk about these results a little bit. And that it's interesting. Most of these are from the base image that NGINX is built off of.
Yeah, you definitely find a lot of that. And it's one of those things as we deal with more containers, people, it's really easy to just, go grab the latest image and just grab whatever that one somebody else built. But by doing something like this, you can really see all of the different vulnerabilities and open spots because with this image that we're doing, so this is just the Nginx base image off of Docker Hub, which is, well, I mean, I know at one point it was one of the most downloaded images off of Docker Hub. But all we're doing is installing Nginx over the top of the base Ubuntu, or I'm sorry, in this case, Debian image. And, sometimes you may think like, oh, okay, well, this is their image, and chances are you're just pulling the upstream one. So it's really good to be able to look at this and be able to, it's a good little wake up call of going, oh yeah, you want to make sure you trust where you're grabbing your images from. And even if you do trust them, you still got to check it, right?
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And this type of tool addresses two different scenarios that I can think of immediately on the top of my head. The first, the base images, whoever is building your base images to begin with. And I know a lot of organizations may have like a platform team. This would be the team responsible for providing development teams a base image to start with. And the second scenario is, for example, those developing Nginx. They aren't interested in the base image. They're interested in making sure that they aren't adding more vulnerabilities by just the code that they are developing and just what they are adding to the image.
Yeah, and by being able to check it at such a granular level, it's so much easier to be able to identify, oh, okay, I added that vulnerability versus, okay, we finally got the code up. We've had our developers working on the code on their local machines, and then we've had the platform team who have been building this, secure, blessed image. And the two only get together at the very end, right? When you're pushing through your production into your production environment. And then all of a sudden you have the fun fire drills of, well, it worked on my dev machine, and then we put it into staging and everything goes sideways. So being able to have developers not only using those same images, but checking on a regular basis so that they're aware of what's happening and it's not something that is waiting to, bite you at the last minute.
Exactly. We do see a lot of pipelines, from our perspective at JFrog, we see a lot of pipelines where people are starting to put in scanning capabilities, but oftentimes we see the scanning happening, more closer to the middle of the pipeline. This gives the developer a lot more power and a lot more opportunity to fix a lot of these things before it even gets there, before it even slows down the pipeline with the scan to begin with. So very helpful. Also, another thing is, giving the developer more empowerment here. We do provide a lot of information, the CVE values, all of this stuff comes from publicly available databases, as well as the popular databases like NVD, risk-based securities, VulnDB, from GitHub, Ubuntu CVE tracker for those instances, Debian security bug tracker, Red Hat information. All of these stuff culminate together in this database and provide you with everything you need to make decisions about how you want to build your images. So in this case, you may decide to go looking for a later base image, perhaps, to build on top of, or a different base image altogether. These are very important tools for developers to be able to use and to make these decisions for their software and increase their throughput, really, get things out there quicker.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big benefits to development of containers is having that more production-like environment on your local machine. And this is just yet another step in that direction. You're not, it's not like at the old days where it was, oh, well, security is something that the production team has to worry about. And that's just something that gets slapped on top when it's going out the door. And instead, it's really allows us to go, hey, everybody needs to care about this. And you need to be looking at it at a very granular level. And like you were saying, there's a ton of information about all these CVEs. And really one of the hardest parts is just churning through all of that different information. So that's really where tools like Xray really come through to help, because the information's out there, but it may not be easy because you look through this list and there's packages that people would never use, and they're just random utilities that are on the system, and you may not even be aware of, but there could be some vulnerability in there that you have to worry about.
Exactly. And I think this is an excellent part to close on. I think for future development, now that we're providing all of this information right up front, now the next step is to work on analyzing this information, making sure that we're providing it in such a way that we can make these decisions and be confident that we are doing the right thing. All right, Damian, this was great talking to you. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully this extension will be valuable to your developers at F5.
Definitely. Thanks for having us, and we're always looking forward to working with JFrog more.